Have you ever wondered if your future self has already left you a sign? Right now, in this very moment, you are being called to go beyond the limits that have defined your life until now. It's time to break free from the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that have kept you stuck for so long. This video is not like any other. It's an invitation, an open door to a new way of understanding the power you have to change your reality. Did you know that your thoughts alone have the ability to shape your biology, transform your surroundings, and rewrite your destiny? It's a powerful and life-changing truth. Before we continue, I want to ask you something very important. Declare your intention here and now. Write it in the comments. I choose transformation. By doing so, you're not only letting the universe know that you're ready, but you're also sending a clear signal that you are willing to take the first step toward your best self. If you're as excited as I am about building a new future, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. What you are about to hear could be the spark that ignites a radical change in your life. The question I want you to ask yourself is, are you ready to cross the bridge into a completely new reality? The very fact that you are here, listening to these words, is proof that you are ready to take that leap. This moment, this very instant, is the sign your future self has sent you. An invitation to step into a new reality filled with abundance, love, and joy. Imagine for a moment waking up every day with a deep sense of gratitude, as if your biggest dreams had already come true. How would it feel? Visualize it. You would embody confidence, radiate love, and naturally attract abundance. But here's the secret. You don't need to wait for something external to happen to feel this way. You don't need circumstances to change in order to experience these emotions. According to Dispenza, you can teach your body what it feels like to live that reality right now. By doing so, you are no longer a victim of external circumstances. You become the conscious creator of your destiny. When you start experiencing elevated emotions like joy, gratitude, and love, your body begins to respond as if the future you desire were already your present. Think about this. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. To your body, those emotions and thoughts are not just a rehearsal. They are reality. And that's where the magic begins. The more you embody these emotions, the more you start attracting circumstances that reflect that state of being. Don't wait for life to change before you change. Start creating the change from within. Now let's talk about thoughts. A single thought, repeated over and over, becomes a belief. And your beliefs are the foundation upon which your reality is built. But here's the challenge. Most people recycle the same thoughts every day. Studies show that 90% of the thoughts you have today are the same ones you had yesterday. If those thoughts are rooted in lack, fear, or unworthiness, they will only continue to reinforce those same feelings. Dispenza explains it in a fascinating way. Neurons that fire together, wire together. This means that your repetitive thoughts and emotions build stronger neural connections over time, forming deeply ingrained patterns in your brain. These patterns are what keep you trapped in a predictable future based on your past. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step toward change. The moment you recognize those automatic thoughts, you gain the power to interrupt them. Yes, it may feel uncomfortable at first. Your body, accustomed to the familiar, will resist the unknown. But that discomfort is not an obstacle. It's a sign of growth. It means you're crossing what Dispenza calls the river of change, where your old self begins to make way for the new. Crossing this river requires courage. It means making different choices, even when the old ones feel safer. It means mentally rehearsing who you want to become. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you act in the life you are creating? Remember, your brain does not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Rehearsing your future consistently literally rewires your brain, preparing it for transformation. Over time, these new thoughts and behaviors become your natural state. Your brain and body align in a state of coherence, synchronized with your vision of the future. This is the point where change becomes sustainable. You are no longer reacting to the world around you. You are actively designing your destiny. As Dispenza says, you are sending signals to your genes to act before the environment does. Your biology begins to reflect that new reality. Research supports this idea. People who practice these principles experience significant changes, not just in their mindset, but also in their physical and emotional well-being. Even in controlled environments, such as workshops, participants have achieved measurable results. Now, imagine the possibilities when you integrate these practices into your daily life. One of the biggest obstacles on this journey is the addiction to past emotions and patterns. Many people, without realizing it, rely on external circumstances to regulate their inner world. They seek validation, chase achievements, or numb their discomfort with distractions. But these behaviors only reinforce the cycles that keep them stuck in the same place. True transformation begins when you stop looking outside yourself for what can only be found within. Instead, you cultivate emotions like love, gratitude, and joy from within. This shift in focus frees you from living in reaction and allows you to become the cause of your own evolution. How can you start? Begin with stillness. Sit in silence and observe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. Identify the patterns that no longer serve you, and then shift your attention to the version of yourself you wish to become. Dedicate time each day to embodying elevated emotions, gratitude, love, enthusiasm. Do it until they become your new baseline. Every time you meditate or visualize your future, you are rewiring your brain and conditioning your body to align with that new reality. Over time, these small actions, repeated consistently, produce extraordinary results. Let's think about the habits that reinforce old patterns. Every time you act on impulse, whether it's buying something you don't need, overeating, or repeating behaviors you know don't benefit you, your brain responds by releasing chemicals that activate the pleasure centers. At first, that rush feels incredible. However, as these chemicals flood your system over and over, the receptors in your brain begin to desensitize. As a result, you need more of that behavior just to feel a fraction of the initial pleasure. This is the cycle of addiction, and the problem worsens when the body, having developed a dependence on these external stimuli, starts craving them, even when your conscious mind says, "I don't want this anymore." This is where the power of the subconscious is revealed, that part of you that stores all the repeated patterns from over the years. True change happens when you begin to observe your unconscious thoughts and behaviors. This process, known in neuroscience as metacognition, gives you the opportunity to break those automatic cycles. By becoming aware of your internal programming, you are no longer the program. You become the awareness that observes it. Think about the power of this. The simple act of watching your thoughts without judgment activates the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for creativity, intention, and learning. This is the executive control center of your life. From here, you can redirect your energy toward creating a new version of yourself. But breaking free from old patterns isn't easy. It's uncomfortable because it forces you to step out of a mold you've built over years, perhaps even decades. As Joe Dispenza says, true change is uncomfortable because it takes you into the unknown. Yet, this discomfort is a sign that you are moving forward. It is proof that you are leaving behind your old self to welcome something new. When you begin to redirect your energy and attention inward, you start reclaiming the power you once gave away to the external world. Remember, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. If your constant focus is on lack, fear, or frustration, you are tying your energy to those emotions. Over time, this drains your vitality, making you feel stuck and exhausted. However, when you choose to shift your focus toward elevated emotions like love, gratitude, or joy, something magical happens. Practices like focused meditation help move energy from the lower centers of your body, where it is stored in survival mode, up to your brain and heart. As this energy rises, it activates higher states of brain waves, such as gamma waves. These waves are associated with clarity, creativity, and a deep sense of happiness. This shift is not just mental, it is physiological. When you stop reacting to your environment and start looking inward, you generate an electromagnetic field around your body, acting as a magnet that attracts new possibilities into your life. People who practice this consistently report profound changes. Some experience improvements in their health, others attract abundance, and many feel a deeper connection to life. They no longer allow their surroundings to dictate how they feel. Instead, they create their reality from a state of inner fulfillment. And here's the key. You don't seek love. You become love. You don't chase abundance. You are abundance. In this elevated state of being, life begins to flow to you effortlessly. The outer world simply reflects the transformation that has already taken place within you. But this is not for everyone. Only 1% of people will truly grasp this message. That 1% is willing to go deeper, to close the gap between how they feel internally and how they show up in the world. Instead of ignoring that gap, they choose to observe it, reprogram it, and transform it. This is the true power of creating a different life. Joe Dispenza explains that our emotions have a direct impact on our physical health. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real experience in your environment and one that exists only in your mind, he says. This means that when you open your heart and release old emotional patterns, you literally create the conditions for your transformation. Time plays an important role in all of this. When you're trapped in emotions like lack, fear, or frustration, time seems to drag. Have you ever noticed that? It feels like everything moves slower because you're disconnected from the present moment. But when you're in love, deeply connected with yourself and the now, you don't want that moment to end. Suddenly, time seems to disappear. Think about the last time you were completely present. Maybe you were laughing with loved ones, sharing a meal, or creating unforgettable memories. In those moments, there was no judgment, no worries about the future. You were simply living, fully immersed in the now. That is the power of love and gratitude. These emotions dissolve guilt, judgment, and all the mental noise. When you start living from this elevated state, your perspective shifts. Even your biggest challenges or adversaries begin to look different. Instead of feeling anger or resentment, you feel compassion. You recognize in others the same struggles you have faced before. And with that compassion comes an even greater power. The more you practice emotions like gratitude and love, the stronger your body becomes. Gratitude, in particular, is a state of receiving. When you feel deeply grateful for something, whether it has happened yet or not, you are sending a signal to your body that you have already received it. It's as if you are training your mind and body to align with the future you desire. When you experience genuine gratitude, your body releases powerful chemicals that strengthen your immune system. Research has shown that dedicating just 10 to 20 minutes a day to focused gratitude can improve your physical and mental health. But it's not enough to simply think about what you're grateful for. You have to feel it. When you do, you send a clear signal to your body. This is already happening. Imagine this process as a tool for creation. When you practice gratitude for something that hasn't yet happened, your body begins to act as if it were already a reality. But here's the challenge. Most people live anchored to the past. When you wake up each morning, what is the first thing on your mind? Problems, right? Those problems are tied to past memories and emotions. By focusing on them, you drag your body and mind back into the same state. Emotions are the language of the body, and thoughts are the language of the brain. Together they create a powerful cycle. If your thoughts are negative, they produce chemicals that make you feel bad. That feeling, in turn, reinforces the thought, and the cycle continues. Over time, your body not only stores those negative emotions, but also begins to identify with them. You reach a point where you say, "I can't feel joy," or "I can't feel love." But what you're really saying is, "I have trained my body to feel only what is familiar to me." Here's the good news. You can break that cycle. You can recondition your body and mind to live in the present moment, where true creation happens. It all begins with practice. Learn to feel elevated emotions like love and gratitude, even before your external conditions reflect them. Why does it work? Because your body doesn't care whether the experience is real or imagined. It only responds to the emotional state you create. When you consistently live in an elevated state, you begin to align with the future you desire. Remember, the familiar past is known, and the predictable future is also known. But the only place where the unknown exists is in the present moment, and that is where transformation begins. Think about this. The stronger the emotion you feel, the more deeply you connect with the image of the future you are creating. When love, gratitude, or enthusiasm are intense, your mind focuses with greater clarity. This is the core of Joe Dispenza's teachings. Instead of remembering the pain of your past, imagine using that same mechanism to remember the joy of your future. The first step is to anchor yourself in the present moment. The key is clarity, knowing exactly what you want to create. When you teach your body how it feels to live that future, your heart responds in a powerful way. And this isn't just a concept. Brain scans show that when you cultivate emotions like love and gratitude, your heart enters a harmonious, coherent state. On the other hand, when you are trapped in emotions like frustration, impatience, or resentment, your heart rate becomes chaotic. This chaos drains the energy from both your heart and brain, leaving you unable to trust in your future. But when your heart is in coherence, it beats like a drum in steady, rhythmic waves, sending clear and balanced signals to your brain. This state not only calms self-criticism and doubt, but also opens the door to creativity and new possibilities. In this state, you begin to envision your future from inspiration, not from fear. When your heart opens, your body responds by releasing oxytocin, known as the hormone of love. This chemical relaxes your body and literally expands the arteries around your heart. It's not just a feeling, it's your biology aligning with your vision. So, how do you break free from the cycle of negativity, where your thoughts and emotions reinforce each other, keeping you trapped? The answer lies in daily practice. Dedicate time each day to meditation, not as a mere routine, but as a conscious rehearsal of your future. Do not get up from your practice until you feel like the person you are becoming. By closing your eyes and staying still, you are teaching your body to obey your mind. At first, it will be a challenge. Your body will resist. It will urge you to check your phone, grab a snack, or move. This resistance is simply your old self trying to hold on to control. But every time you redirect your attention back to the present moment, you are gaining ground. Each small victory strengthens your willpower and reaffirms your ability to change. During this process, your body may try to distract you with old emotions. Memories of failures, regrets, or past wounds might surface. But this is where the real breakthrough happens. If you can observe these emotions without reacting to them, they begin to lose their power over you. By no longer feeding those past patterns, you free yourself to create a new future. This work is not easy. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, even challenging, but that discomfort is a sign that you are stretching beyond your comfort zone. It is evidence that you are dismantling the programs that have kept you stuck. You are no longer a slave to your habits. You are training your body and mind to live in the present moment and prepare for the unknown. When you see yourself as the creator of your reality, you install new mental programs. Each visualization, each meditation builds new neural connections. With enough repetition, those connections become automatic. Your brain stops remembering the past and starts anticipating the future. This shift also explains a phenomenon you've likely heard of, the placebo effect. When a person believes in the power of a simple sugar pill, their body responds by changing its biology, purely through thought. The pill is not the cure, belief is. This same principle applies to the future you want to create. By repeatedly focusing on that vision and feeling the emotions associated with it, you are reprogramming your nervous system. Over time, your body begins to act as if you are already living that reality. The real breakthrough happens when you release emotional attachment to the past. That's when you open yourself to new possibilities. But this requires courage, because stepping into the unknown means challenging the familiar and leaving your comfort zone. For many people, this is the biggest challenge. They hold on to limiting beliefs, sometimes without even realizing it. To change these beliefs, you must first recognize them. Ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself about who I am and what is possible for me? Once you identify those narratives, you can begin to dismantle them. As Joe Dispenza says, your personal reality creates your personality. If you repeat the same routines, see the same people, and find yourself in the same places, you are reinforcing the same patterns. This is why many people return to their old habits, even after experiencing profound change. Their environment acts as an anchor, pulling them back to their old identity. The key to overcoming this is changing your internal environment. This doesn't mean denying challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but rather approaching those challenges with a different mindset. Transformation is not a destination. It's an ongoing journey. It requires consistency, self-awareness, and the willingness to adjust your course when necessary. This journey of transformation is not just about achieving a goal or solving a problem. It's about changing your inner state, about living from a place of wholeness instead of lack. When you stop chasing what you feel is missing and start creating from a state of inner abundance, the entire game changes. You no longer seek something external to complete you. You realize that everything you need is already within you. When you are connected to something greater than yourself, your thoughts are no longer just ideas. They become powerful magnets for experiences. It is in this state of connection that time seems to collapse, and the gap between what you imagine and what you experience disappears. You stop living in separation and begin creating from oneness, from a place of infinite possibilities. In this state, miracles happen, but they are not the result of chance. They are the result of alignment between your mind, heart, and energy. So what should you do? Go beyond your body, your environment, and time as you know it. Connect with that invisible field that unites everything that exists. From this place, focus your thoughts and emotions with clarity and purpose. Yes, this requires practice, but once you experience this state, you can never be the same person again. Something within you changes profoundly. Your brain rewires, your perception expands, and your reality begins to reflect that inner transformation. Suddenly, the things you once thought you needed, status, possessions, validation, lose their importance. What you truly long for is the feeling of freedom, connection, and wholeness. True freedom happens when you are so aligned with yourself that you no longer need external approval. When you are so full of self-love that you are complete just as you are. And from that place of freedom, you can create anything. But here's the truth. Only 1% of people are willing to do the work necessary to get there. Why only 1%? Because it takes courage. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone, questioning your beliefs, and facing the unknown. Most people feel too comfortable in what is familiar, even if that familiarity keeps them trapped. But those who are willing to take that step into the unknown, to measure their progress, adjust their focus, and move forward despite the challenges, are the ones who experience true transformation. If you're still here, if you're still listening to these words, maybe you are part of that 1%. Perhaps something inside you knows you are destined for something greater. Maybe your future self is calling you, showing you a glimpse of what is possible if you decide to take control of your life. Let's talk about something that holds many people back: the analytical mind. That part of your mind that is always trying to control, analyze, and predict. It acts like a mental gatekeeper, keeping you tied to the past and filling you with worries about the future. But meditation is a powerful tool to move beyond this analytical mind. When you allow yourself to enter a state of stillness and focus, you access a part of you that is not limited by what has already happened or what you think might happen. Joe Dispenza puts it simply: where you place your attention is where you place your energy. If your attention is trapped in emotions like fear, anger, or frustration, you are feeding those emotions. But if you choose to redirect your attention toward your heart, toward emotions like love and gratitude, you begin to tune into a completely different frequency, a frequency of possibilities, of hope, of love. When each of us takes responsibility for our inner state, it doesn't just change our personal life, it also influences the world around us. We are like pieces in a collective energy field. When you work on freeing yourself from fear, and I work on freeing myself from judgment, together we create a unified force capable of transforming not just our own lives, but also the environment we live in. Here's the challenge. Teach your body what it feels like to live in the future you desire. even before it happens. It's not just about imagining. It's about feeling. Feel it as if it were already real. Every time you do this, you're emitting a new electromagnetic signature into the quantum field, attracting that reality to you. But here's the secret. You can't wait to have the relationship, the success, or the healing to feel whole. You have to feel whole now. Most people are stuck in past emotions, saying, "I can't feel love because someone hurt me," or "I can't feel joy because things aren't going well." But true change begins when you choose to let go of those survival emotions and practice elevated emotions like love, gratitude, and joy every single day. This isn't just for you. It's a gift you can give to the world, because when you transform yourself, you inspire others to do the same. Just like a single spark can ignite a flame, your transformation can create ripples of change in those around you. So tell me, are you ready to be part of the 1%? The ones who dare to dream, to create, and to live from a place of wholeness? If this message resonated with you, write in the comments, "I am ready to transform my life." Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more transformational content. Remember, the future is not something that just happens. It's something you create. See you in the quantum field. If you want to understand what the Bible says about the month you were born, you need to click on this video. You will discover how your birth date influences you according to the Bible, and learn about the birth dates of the chosen ones. Don't forget to support this video with a like, and share this complete Bible story with your family and friends. Blessings.